Welcome back to Soft Days. My name is Daisy, and this is my podcast. If you guys are new here, I want to let you guys know welcome. There is a couple episodes that I have done previously that would be awesome for you to listen to first. So, give you guys an idea of really who I am and why I started this podcast. But let's get into it, guys. So excited for the next episode. We're here. This episode is a little different than usual. Um, Today I want to talk about friendships, the ones we outgrow, the ones that turn toxic. I had a friend I've known since high school, New Year. We reconnected in 2021. COVID hit in 2020, so I wanted to kind of start my spiritual journey, my healing journey. And her and another friend from middle school came into my mind. Now I had a lot of issues back then. Obviously I still do, but working on it. But during that time, obviously I've grown, she has grown. We made a whole human. The last time I talked to her, her daughter was a newborn. And now during that time, I was already engaged. I already had my bridesmaids, like everything was already set for those days. And it was very awkward when I first saw her. It was super awkward. But during that time, little by little, we started kind of growing into each other. It felt right after that. My family knows her so much, and it felt like the years haven't passed. She was there with me when my brother passed. And also she was there with me during my wedding. Obviously, in the first recent last episode, that it was a little rough for me. After my brother passed, I postponed my wedding, and a lot of issues happened within my sisters. So I felt really distant with them, and she was there during that time, her and my sister-in-law. My maid of honor was also going through it. And Denise, because I mentioned her before, Denise, me and her, she was my maid of honor. My other sister was maid of honor. And, she was going through her own thing too. And obviously, I spoken to her about that before she asked me to be her son's godmother. And I said, yes, of course. But yeah, those, days were hard with me and my sisters during that waiting time. And obviously that other friend was there also to support me through that, which I'm very grateful and thankful for. But slowly I started noticing old patterns coming back, and my boundaries were slipping again because I had very strong boundaries. And let's rephrase that. After stopped speaking to this friend, when we had a fallout out, my high school friend, and actually one of my friends, Maddie, told me about this. We were talking about when I first met her, and it was at a work, and I just didn't want to have any friends. I wanted no friends. They were my coworkers. That's what she was. I was very distant with her. Like, I did not want to get attached to nobody. I only had two friends, and it was both of them I worked with, and it was Denise and my other coworker, and that was it. I had no other, friends. I was like very like friends. Scary. But yeah, now I know, understand now. And you guys will understand more after what I'm trying to explain here. But I'm getting off subject a little bit, which is all gonna come to sense together. And my old patterns came back. I was people pleasing. I was saying yes to everything during that time. I was just exhausted and drained, and I didn't want to admit it. And I started to catch on to a lot of things after that. I started to hide a lot of things. I started to hide my stories from this friend. I felt like there was a lot of, TFTIs, and I would hang out with my other friends, and I would stop posting. I wouldn't post it, or I'll tell them like, please, you guys don't post it. Like, I don't want her to get upset. And what I didn't admit to this was that two of my worst panic attacks that I've had this year was from her. And it's not so much her. It was so much myself not expressing myself. And with therapy made me look at it differently, if that makes sense. My therapist asked, why is this friendship so important? And at that time, I couldn't give her an answer. And she asked me twice, and I couldn't give her an answer. And it's not because I don't love her or I don't care. It's just that all I can say was because she was there for me. She was there for me in the most toughest times of my life. And obviously, high school, I don't really count high school because at the end of the day, high school was a little different. And even outside of high school, she was there for me with my first marriage. And, because she was going through that heartbreak and I was going through that heartbreak. So we connected through that. We trauma bonded, basically. Like you guys don't know trauma bond, look it up. Trauma bond is real. I was like, well, she was there for me. And that's all I could answer my therapist. And she said, okay. And was she the only one at your brother's funeral? And I said, oh, no, I had a lot of families. My brother's funeral service was long, had a bunch of people everywhere. Okay. And then she was also alone in your wedding. I said, no, it was my whole family, my sisters, it was my husband, his family. Like, I wasn't capturing what she was trying to tell me until I kind of sat there and I said, and then she asked, your two other friends, Denise and Mandy, do they ask you and this and constant like hang out and do this? And I said, no. But in my mind, I made her irreplaceable and I didn't want to lose that. And even if it was costing my peace, I just was exhausted. And it makes me sad because obviously I should have talked about it, should have handled it a little differently. And it was like I'm a person that wants to keep peace and want everyone to get along. Obviously, in the past couple of episodes, you guys know that I read body language before I could even read. And I knew when I just wanted everyone to get along and and that was me constantly. And, she had, fallen out with my friend Denise and during that time. And it's like, I'm trying, and it wasn't because I was lying. I just didn't want her or Denise feel like they couldn't, like I was like, oh no, that's not what she said, or oh no, that's not what happened, or who am I? Who am I to be figuring that out for everyone? It was just what? Like it was crazy. Our last conversation happened through text. And I distanced myself through that. Obviously, you guys know my mental breakdown. I've talked about this throughout my past couple of episodes. And she obviously said like I wasn't answering her texts. I wasn't, texting her back, that I was very distant. Like, what did I do? Like, are you okay? Did I do something? And obviously I had a lot going on. I didn't answer her call. I missed her call because it was too much. And more because when you have that breakthrough in your therapy session, it kind of stops you for everything to really process it. And And she's not wrong. I was distant. I was afraid because a therapist telling you something and you're thinking this is the way to go and the way to be doesn't change the fact if I hadn't told her the truth that our friendship has become toxic and that I couldn't keep giving and giving and giving until I was empty. You can't pour into an empty glass. I think I said that right. You can't pour into that. I needed peace in my life. I needed boundaries in my life and structures in my life. And it broke my heart, but it also made me upset because I let myself get there again. And I can't sit there and pity party myself either, but it makes me sad because I didn't see it. And maybe she didn't know either. Maybe in her end, she didn't think that she didn't do anything wrong. But that's how I felt. And it's hard because I'm obviously, her son's godmother. I've gotten attached with her daughter and it's just difficult and it makes me sad. You know what I mean? It does, but my peace is more important at the end of the day. And if silence brought peace into, her life because, there was no response after I sent her that message, then that was on her. And I didn't say we're done. My last message that I put was, well, the message that I wrote was, I'm taking a step back from my friendship right now. I didn't say I don't ever want to see you again. That's not how it is. And I'll be honest, maybe I could have said something sooner. Maybe I could have expressed myself better. I never liked fighting or arguing at all. Ever since I was little, I just wanted it, like I mentioned before, I wanted everyone to be calm and to get along. I used to do my sister's homework because I didn't want her to get in trouble. I'm such an empath. When someone tells me their problems or issues, I absorb it like it's my own. And I'm starting to learn that I can't do that anymore. That part of me is still, always I'm learning. I'm always trying to keep it together for everyone. But that's kind of exhausting for one person. I have a big family already as it is now, so there's birthday parties and then that's just my family. My husband has his friends and his side of the family where we also have to, I have to add them to there. So when I'm being asked to, hey, do you want to hang out with their friends? I'm tired. I work. I was in a safe place and I just didn't want to do that. And during that time, all I can think of was that I wanted to, after my brother passed and after my wedding, I was just completely just, I just wanted to drink and suppress and just, I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just like a time that I felt like it wasn't me. I was living in like this weird timeline, I guess. But I've learned, I guess you can say, others people's reactions aren't mine to control. And that's the way to when people are drinking together, people hanging out together or trying to put two different peoples into a party and it's not possible. Like you guys don't like each other, you guys don't like each other. I can't fix that. You know what I mean? I could have obviously done this differently, but who am I? We all learn. We're all learning in this time of our lives and it's okay. I was pretending, you guys, I was exhaustion and frustration and it was breaking me. It was breaking me, guys. And this isn't my only friendship that I've lost, during this time. And back in middle school, I had a best friend. I had a friend that she was there for me. She was there for me in the beginning. Um, when I first got put into foster care and she was there. And she was there for my first fight. She was there, for a lot of my issues in my life, and I was mostly just trying to fit in. We even like made like a little clique. It's crazy, crazy, crazy when you're just trying to find who you are. And even as a middle school kid. So if you got kids in middle school, understand that they're just trying to find their place and it's harder, But she was also part of my healing journey that I was in. And my crazy thing is, I still remember her birthday and she remembers mine. That's pretty awesome to me. When someone, made an impact in your life and I made an impact in her life. And it's super nice. During that time, I was in foster care. I was doing drugs, as you guys know. She didn't know. I didn't want her to know. So I pushed her away and continued on, in my life. And I got placed into a foster home when I went back and there was miscommunication through a mutual friend. And we were gonna fight. She came up to me, she came up to me ready to fight me right when I came back to that school. I said, but obviously I was not no longer on drugs at that time. And I stopped using. And I said, if you're gonna fight me, then go ahead and fight me. In one way I deserved it, But I just looked at her and told her, do what you gotta do. I was like, but I love you. And I'm sorry, you know. And she just looked at me and we didn't fight and that was it after that. So now as adults, she is a mother, she is a wife, she is doing so good for herself and I'm so proud for her. I'm just in awe of her. I'm so happy for her, you guys. But the truth was I was in a bad place and I distanced myself from her. And now we talk and I love her so much. I really do. And I hope that we hang out soon. But back to my other friend, I am very sad about it. But God, my peace is more important. And I'm not even angry, you guys. I am not even I was angry in the beginning and I'm like, how can I be so dumb? Like, how can I not see it? How did I not see it? Like, how? But I can't sit there and dwell on that. Only God knows why things played out the way it played out. And I, again, don't wish her any harm. God bless her in her journey, in this new journey, her life at this point. So even if she does listen to this or doesn't listen to this, I wish you the best. And I hope that your life is much better and peaceful. And know that I care for you. I do care for you. Okay. And I just wish you the best. And the thing is, you guys, when you guys are healing or when your body is just trying to tell you this is not okay, trying to portray this you got it together type of stuff. You don't. And listen to your body, you guys. That is number one. Listen to your body. Like, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose people during your healing journey. It's definitely okay. And people might not know how to act around you once you start changing. They might still hold on to a version of you. And it's like, that's not me no more. Like, that's not me no more. Girl, I have grown. And don't get it twisted. My other side's still there. But you just keep evolving, keep growing. And the people who are meant to be in your life and this new journey will either stay or they will already be there. And through therapy, I also learned to recognize when a friendship is turning toxic. So I'm going to tell you guys also first, Google it, boundaries and toxic friendships. And it's not just friendship, it could be toxic sister, it could be toxic mother, toxic father, toxic dog, look it up. And all of those things will be there. And read them slowly and listen to what you're reading. And it's one-sided. You get more than you receive. And that one's hard because I felt like it was one-sided at the end with her. She would always try to reach out. And I was just more like, I got this and this and this plan. Like, I can't, like, there was too much. So I'm not going to sit there and say that that's correct because this is a raw truth, you guys. I'm not sitting here pinpointing that I didn't do nothing wrong because maybe I did do something wrong. But I started doubting myself as a friend, as a person. And that freaking sucks. It sucks to feel like that because it's like I'm doing the best that I can, but am I a bad friend? Am I a bad person? But one of the things is, and what I want you guys to know before I continue on with this, is that you can be there for a person in their roughest times, but don't confuse that with you owe that person your whole life. Like, understand that. When a person has been here, thank you for being there for me. I appreciate that for me. But that person needs to do it because they wanted to do it and not expect you to do more with answering the phone call at, the first second, stuff like that. Okay. That's what I need you guys to understand on that. And if you're going to sit on something, sit on that. Okay. Again, I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. People in the back. It's when someone does something for you or been there for you in difficult times, in different situations, that does not mean that that person can guilt trip you or use that as an advantage for anything. Okay. It could be anything, could be the phone call. It could be like, you didn't answer me. You didn't pick me up. You didn't just constant little things like that. No, that is not how this goes. All right. You're guilt tripped for having boundaries. That's another one of the things, you're guilt tripped for having boundaries. You feel exhausted instead of supported. And sometimes you just don't want to hang out. Apologies don't lead to change. And that's one thing that's different. I remember apolo- apologizing for things that I did, expecting an apology as well. And I wasn't getting that either. And you're expected to always be available. This is what I was mentioning before, expecting to always be available. You start doubting yourself. That's exactly what I was feeling. Conversations feel hostile instead of safe. A lot of the TFTI, you didn't think about me, stuff like that, like constant things like that. And most importantly, your life feels more peaceful without them. It was just constant. She was my party person. She was my fun person. She was the one that we can also have deep conversations, but there was things that I didn't want to tell her anymore. Not because I didn't trust her. I just didn't feel like my feelings were validated. Like, I felt like you have all of this now. You have all of these blessings, but you're going through what? Like, it's just, that's how I felt. I felt that. Now, yeah, I am home. I am enjoying my space, especially enjoying this quiet time that I need in my life and focusing on me, you guys, on me. It was always my family, my sisters, my brother, God rest his soul, everyone but me. My job was even toxic for that. And so when I saw friendships through that lens and I was check marking all of those things, I was like, damn, that's hard. But I realized I wasn't being selfish for letting go. I was protecting my peace. And that to me is now so sacred that I'm going to stand by that now. if that makes sense. I need to stand on that. Not all friendships are forever. They're just not. Some fade quietly, some end in chaos, some just don't fit anymore in your new journey that you're in. And you never really understand that until you get older, and if you haven't gone through that now, you're going to go through that if you don't learn how to separate the boundaries. People are in different journeys with their gym lives, their marriage, they have kids, and it's okay to keep growing from that. You're going to find people that will fit into your life now, but some just don't fit anymore. And that it's okay. That is okay, you guys. We don't talk anymore. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, peace is worth more than pretending that everything is fine. Peace is like, I want to hang out because I want to hang out with you or go out with you. And it doesn't make you a bad person to say no. And as everyone's like, whoa, how are you going to do it? It's not like, no, I don't want to go. Thank you. But no. And that in the beginning was hard for me. If you have to make excuses to not go somewhere, something's not right. Like, because you want to hurt that person's feeling, but because you just don't want to go. And that's okay. So I'm still working on that. In the beginning was rough. I was like, oh, and I can't. No, no, no. But now that I can, like, no, I'm okay. Thanks. Thank you for the invitation. I can't make it, And my therapist said that I will get better on that, you guys. And I think that I am. I am starting to get a little, more like, no. But again, I take what you resonates with you, take what doesn't resonate with you. Uh, I just want to say thank you for listening to this episode of Soft Days. If you're in a season where friendships are shifting or fading, I hope this reminds you that you're not alone, you guys. This is raw truth, you guys. And I am holding off names, obviously, because I ain't trying to get sued. Don't sue me. But if you guys are in that journey right now where something's just not right, and it's just like, it's nothing personal, it's nothing bad, it's okay, you guys, to choose yourself. And that person will either join you in this new journey or they won't, because maybe they need to figure out things on their end. And also another thing, friendships go both ways. If I'm apologizing for something and I'm willing to change that, that person needs to be willing to change that too and apologize on their end. And again, I do not like when people say, this is who I am. It's not who you are. There is always room for growth, always. And that's just period. That is just period. Join me on my next episode that's coming up, you guys. That one's gonna be another journey of my life. So 6 will be about betrayal, and episode 7 will be divorce. I am making this through seasons, you guys. Just because I feel like it's things that we need to talk about in different times, but season is about becoming the beginning of becoming who I am now. And I am excited. And the amount of things that I have done these past couple of months just make me so happy. But I feel like these things need to be talked about first because I was pretending so much. And I don't gotta do that anymore. And you shouldn't either at all. But again, thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to see you guys in the next episode. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube, Spotify. Let's just keep this podcast going. All right. So go ahead and share this with people. Please. I want more people to just hear and listen and maybe continue doing this. And if not, it's okay. You all don't gotta follow me either. But again, you guys have a good one. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.